right after Sir Richard Branson and right before lunch. So we'll try to make this as engaging as possible. But I'd like to start with something different. I'd actually like to show you a commercial. Let's roll.
Proud of you, son. GE. Manufacturer.
Well, that's why I dug this out for you.
It's your grandpappy's hammer, and he would have wanted you to have it.
It meant a lot to him.
Yes, GE makes powerful machines, but I'll be writing the code that will allow those machines to share information with each other. I'll be changing the way the world...
You can't pick it up, can you? Go ahead. He can't lift the hammer.
It's okay, though. You're going to change the world.
Okay, show of hands. How many of you have seen a GE commercial in the past couple of months? Okay, great. Good. Okay. How has it been? Okay. Well, this was our approach to provide visibility into the transformation we're going through. But we wanted to take a humble approach, as well as provide transparency and a laugh at ourselves as well, that we're doing something different, something with purpose. But we had to change our perception. Most people think of GE as light bulbs and appliances. We're actually a lot more than that. So I'd start by giving you a little overview about GE and why this digital transformation, and then walk you through our talent acquisition journey. So GE is a very large company with 124 years of history and legacy. Over 330,000 employees, operating in 175 different countries, generating $117 billion of revenue. So just a little bit. But what really makes GE very unique is the diversity in its products and industries. GE Power generates 40% of the world's power. Every 2 seconds, a GE jet engine takes off. Every day, GE healthcare machines save 3,000 lives a day. So whether it's our transportation business, oil and gas, all of these machines are generating and analyzing billions of data points. So we all know how important and powerful the concept of software and data is in our world. And it's actually transformed our world in many different ways. For example, Airbnb. It's one of the most valuable hotel services, but yet owns no real estate. Apple has transformed the app economy, yet only makes very few apps. Uber has disrupted the transportation industry, but yet owns no vehicle. Similarly, software is impacting the industrial world. By 2020, 50 billion machines will be connected, generating billions of data points. To give you an idea of what that looks like today, one GE jet engine blade in 1 hour generates more data than Twitter does in 24 hours. So imagine the possibilities of what this data can do. This creates both the opportunity and the challenge of the industrial internet. We've seen a lot of technology disruption in both the consumer world and the enterprise world. But we have yet to see that in the industrial or the IoT world. That is where GE is pioneering, to be the first to lead the industrial transformation by creating the first cloud platform, Predix, for the industrial world. This will allow for smarter cities, smarter healthcare machines, and more intelligent environments. So this opportunity created a clear purpose for GE, that it must transform. And software was going to be a very critical play for GE. So our CEO and chairman created a clear vision that if you went to bed last night as an industrial company, you're going to wake up today as a software and analytics company. And became the core spokesperson and evangelist to make this change happen. But as we pivot to this digital industrial transformation, there are many talent implications. Today, our skills are divided, software and hardware. We see these fusing together in the future, creating new skill sets of the digital industrial world and the IoT space. Availability of talent will go from difficult to very difficult. Today, we anticipate there are 300,000 IoT developers in the world. By 2020, the space will need 4.5 million. Today, GE is the first in pioneering to this world. But as startups, tech companies, other industrials go through their own digital transformation, we will see more competition, as well as being targeted on our own talent pools. All these implications impact talent in a significant way. That means the way you attract, retain, and develop fundamentally needed to be different. And for GE, this was one of our biggest talent transformations in bringing digital talent to the company. So our chairman said, we're going to be a software company. So you go to the mecca of where software talent is. You go to Silicon Valley. But imagine when a 124-year-old company, that is a hardware manufacturing company, says we're going to go be a software company. We're going to go hire software engineers. Imagine what those perceptions were internally to those that have been with GE for years, but imagine what the candidates were saying. Here's a little bit of what we heard. If you want to work in software, you go to a startup or you go to Google. GE is a hardware company. We make big things. Or we heard, a software engineer gets paid what? They get annual grants? What do you mean Microsoft and Amazon are now competitors? What is this platform and what is cloud? We heard our candidates say, I didn't even know GE did software. I thought you guys were in appliances and the light bulb business. You're in California? In order to change these perceptions and mindset, we had to transform company culture, and we had to transform the way we went about talent. Well, GE has a long history in building and developing early talent. It's called our leadership programs. And we invest heavily on them. So you bring that talent from college, you groom them, you grow them, they stay with the company for many, many years. Our average retention rate, tenure at GE is about 15 years. But when you go into the digital space, your talent approach has to be aligned to the industry and the market you're going into. And we needed to look at a very integrated approach. We needed to change recruiting, compensation, learning and development, all aligned to the tech industry. Regardless of how strong recruiting is, if your compensation practices aren't aligned to the market you're in, you're not going to be successful. If your recruiting and compensation is aligned and you haven't built a culture for that industry, you're not going to be successful. So all of this had to be integrated. But we had to start with, what does good look like? What does good look like in digital? What are the skill sets of this talent pool? How do you pay them? How do you develop them? How do you empower them? That was the secret sauce and our approach. But when we got started, there was a very different definition for digital and software in the company. Most people thought a software engineer was a systems engineer because we worked on hardware machines. So we had to provide the right direction in a world that had multiple views. I'll give you an example of what this looked like. So let's try it out. I'm going to ask you guys to close your eyes. Just go with me here for just a little bit. Okay? Close your eyes, no peeking. Okay. With your eyes closed, I want you to point north. Keeping your eyes closed, when I say go, I want you to point north. Go. Okay, keep your eyes closed. When I say open, I want you to keep your arm up, continue to point, and take a look. Okay, open your eyes, take a look. You guys are all pointing in different directions. That's how it looked at GE. North is by there, that way. So when we look at true north, what did that mean for us? True north was our talent. So every company has a strategy, has a purpose, has a vision. Well, we knew our vision, we knew our purpose, and we knew our strategy of igniting the next industrial revolution by connecting minds and machines. But what we didn't have was the digital talent that was going to get us to our vision. That means talent became the core strategy of this digital transformation. And because we didn't have this talent internally, we had to go find this talent externally, making talent acquisition the foundational footprint to this transformation journey. But let's start with talking about what the recruiting landscape looked like as we got started with the digital transformation. Recruiting, legacy processes, old traditional technology, decades old, 99.9% mobile drop-off rate, post and pray methodology. Guess who made the offers? Not recruiters. Hiring managers and HR made the offers. Long processes. We actually had paper applications. And imagine being in one of the most competitive markets for this digital transformation. We needed to transform recruiting. And we needed not to just transform it, we needed to innovate in ways that haven't been done before in the industry, because we were doing something new. And we had to blitzscale in a way that the company had never done this before. Blitzscaling. It's what you need to do when you have to grow really, really quickly in a new market, creating new jobs. We saw this with Amazon and e-commerce. Google did this with the way you get information. GE Digital is doing it with the digital industrial, creating new IoT jobs. And here is our transformation of how we went from a family of 100 to a nation of 28,000 in less than 5 years. 2012, GE Software opens in San Ramon. And the whole purpose was to have the company start thinking about software and starting to infuse that in the company and to really start focusing on the industrial internet. I remember coming in 2013 of April, dealing with a number of challenges. Time to fill was 165 days, 43% hiring manager satisfaction, 20-page application process that the recruiters were filing. And we had to hire 800 people in 6 months in Silicon Valley. Okay, so after I caught a breath, like, we have to change things here. First thing is the model, which has to be the foundation of your strategy. The talent acquisition partner model was key, which we call the TAP. That role was a critical role that had to help transform the way GE thought about recruiting. Here's what we did. Remember when we said, what does good look like in digital? Well, what does good look like in a talent acquisition partner? What are those skills that can get us to 2020? We mapped out 4 behaviors and 8 capabilities that were critical to the talent acquisition partner. We infused subject matter expertise. We hired software developers that moved into talent acquisition. We built on passive recruiting. We built on people that had networks. Well, the second thing is location. Well, we're in Silicon Valley, well, kind of east of Silicon Valley. While the location has served us great now, originally it was very difficult. Well, what do? You map out who are those people that are commuting from the East Bay all the way to Silicon Valley in traffic, 2 hours, 3 hours a day. We had a compelling story to share with them. Third was brand. 10 out of 10 of the software developers we talked to had no clue we did software. 9 out of 10 had no idea we were even in the Bay Area. We had to infuse brand, social channels, hackathons, meetups, get our other software engineers in the market. And we had to do this very quickly. We were very successful. What seemed impossible was possible because we had the right model, the people, and a purpose. But that was just the beginning. We still had an uphill battle because we had to help transform across the company. So you heard me talk about we have diversity of our company because of our businesses. Well, those businesses are 8 different companies. So we had to think about a horizontal way of supporting all these 8 businesses and really help them think about what good looks like and change the way fragmented software was being built and the way it was being recruited. But we're all in the recruiting space. We ask for budget. No, you can't have budget. You got to do it with what you have. Figure out a way. So we had to figure out a way to self-fund and grow horizontally. Well, we believed we had a great model, great innovation. And we ran it as recruiting as a service, as its own P&L. But when you're growing so fast, you need technology to help you. And we didn't have any technology at the level of what we needed that was integrated in our approach, that can do predictive analytics, that can analyze the skill sets we need and tell us who's going to be right for us. Well, we built a talent platform aligned to what we knew good looked like. And we helped transform the horizontal businesses to understand what recruiting and what a talent partner can do, shifting the mindset. But we still needed to grow faster. Now, our Predicts platform getting more momentum, more commercial opportunity. This is when GE Digital was created. So now we have a 9th company, and we're supporting horizontally the 8 different businesses. We needed to deal with speed, unpredictability. I'll tell you, we never had a forecast. I bet most of you know what that means as well. Every day, our hiring numbers changed. So what did we do? We built cross-functional agile teams that can work in sprint models. We infused the way software developers worked. We took on full principles of agile into recruiting, created the role of a recruiting scrum master, and took principles of extreme recruiting similar to pair programming, to innovate and grow in speed. This allowed us to gain 70% more efficiency and speed to our business. But we needed to go faster. So we're hiring thousands of people, but we still needed to go faster, and we needed to fundamentally change the culture of the company. So then we hired chief digital officers in every vertical. These chief digital officers aligned to our technology, the Predix platform, and they built applications for their verticals. But they also played another part. They were the change agent to help drive digital DNA into the company. But now imagine what we did in 2013, doing it over and over with every business and across the globe from scratch, every time. Today, GE Digital is 28,000 strong, which is a mix of thousands of external hires, M&A, and the chief digital officer businesses. We are now $6 billion in revenue. In less than 5 years, we grew our talent acquisition team by 15x. And our value, our recruiting as a service model grew by 10x. And as we grow to be a continent, we're going to continue to scale, but we know talent acquisition is going to be at the heart of this growth and this transformation. Now, GE Digital has a clear vision for 2020. We want to be the top 10 software company, generating $15 billion in revenue. Now, these are very aggressive goals, but we know we have a clear purpose. We want to evolve and pioneer and change GE, our customers, and the industry. We have amazing machines today. Machines that are powering Talent Connect. Machines that are powering Vegas. We have amazing machines that brought you here, that can take you to California by lunchtime. Imagine what these machines can do tomorrow on the cloud. Each machine will tell a story that will help all of us and our economy. As I close, I'd like to share, this has been really hard. There has not been any blueprint or benchmark in building a digital industrial. We're writing it as we go. There have been times that were messy, uncomfortable, ambiguous. Taking a 124-year-old company to becoming digital to then of something of the future is hard. Imagine bringing so many external people, pushing the envelope, pushing status quo, new wave thinking. At times it was a culture of us and them. We knew that we were Edison. Today we're Owen. Who knows who we will be tomorrow? But we do know our history and our legacy also is an important part that makes us very unique. The machines that we build are critical. So we will find a balance of two to create the digital industrial world. You know, many people ask me, well, what keeps you guys going? We don't know what tomorrow will look like. Every day is a different day. New challenges, new mindset that we have to shift. But we know that we have a purpose and we're behind that purpose. But sometimes you have to take the leap and you build your wings as you go. And that's what we've done. We've taken the leap and we have the faith and we're building for something that's never been done before. That has been our journey, and our journey's just begun. Thank you.